Once upon a time, on a sunny green meadow by a babbling brook, there lived a very curious little cow named Lyssen. Now, Lyssen wasn't a normal cow. She looked just like the others with her soft white coat and little black patches, but she had one extraordinary habit. Lyssen loved to listen. She had the biggest, floppiest ears on the whole farm, and they were always perked up, swiveling this way and that, ready to catch every sound. When the birds chirped melodies in the morning, Lyssen tilted her head and hummed along. When the brook gurgled and splashed over the rocks, she closed her eyes and imagined it was singing her a watery lullaby. When the gentle wind whispered through the trees, she giggled and said, "Oh, wind, your stories tickle." All the other animals on the farm thought little Lyssen cow was a bit unusual. "Why are you always standing still and listening? Listen." The ducklings quacked as they splashed in their pond. "Don't you want to run with us in the fields and chase butterflies?" the playful lambs bleated. But Lyssen just smiled. "You don't learn much by talking," she said. "When you listen, the world shares its secrets." Now, one bright morning, Farmer Jane came bustling out of the farmhouse. "All right, animals, I'm off to town for the day," she called. "You behave yourselves while I'm gone." "Don't worry, Farmer Jane," said the rooster, puffing out his chest. "We've got everything under control." He flapped his wings importantly and squawked to the others. "All right, team, everyone keep an eye on the fields. No slacking." The animals nodded and went about their business. The ducks waddled to the pond, the pigs rolled in the mud pit, and the sheep grazed the grass as usual. Lyssen, on the other hand, wandered over to her favorite spot near the big oak tree by the brook. She perked up her floppy ears and began her usual routine of just listening. Everything seemed peaceful until suddenly, rustle, rustle, snap! Lyssen's ears twitched. She froze. That was no ordinary sound of the wind in the grass. There it was again. Rustle, rustle, snap! "What's that?" whispered Lyssen to herself. She turned her head and saw, peering from the tall grass, two tiny, mischievous eyes. It was Sly the fox, creeping closer and closer to the duck pond. Lyssen gasped. Sly the fox always tried to sneak onto the farm and catch Farmer Jane's ducks, but he was always shooed away before he could get close. But today, with all the animals busy and Farmer Jane in town, no one else had noticed. "Squawk! Squawk!" she called to the rooster. "Sly the fox is sneaking toward the pond." The rooster paused, but he didn't listen. The rooster said proudly, "Nonsense, I'm keeping watch, and everything seems fine to me." Sly crept closer, his bushy tail brushing the grass. Lyssen didn't give up. She ran to the lambs and bleated, "Quick! Help scare Sly away!" But the lambs only shook their heads. "We're busy bouncing," they exclaimed, leaping through the meadow. "It's not our job to listen to rustles and snaps." Lyssen's ears drooped for a moment. No one would listen to her. Then she took a deep breath. "Think, listen, what can you do?" She hurried back near the pond and squatted low. Her floppy ears caught another tiny whisper, a sound from deep in the reeds. It was Hopper the frog. "Hopper, Hopper," Lyssen whispered frantically. "We need to warn the ducks before it's too late. Can you croak an alarm?" Hopper blinked his wide frog eyes and began to croak loudly. "Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit!" And oh, what a racket it caused! The startled ducks quacked and flapped their wings. Sly froze in his tracks. "Quack, quack, quack! Back, back, back!" shouted the head duck. The rooster crowed in alarm. "What's all the fuss about?" Finally, all the animals came running, and there was Sly the fox, caught red-handed or red-pawed. "Shoo, Sly!" they all cried together, chasing him back beyond the fence until he disappeared into the bushes. When the animals gathered together afterward, they were out of breath, but amazed. "Listen," squawked the rooster. "How did you know he was coming? None of us saw a thing." "I didn't see him," Lyssen said, smiling proudly. "I heard him coming. The sounds told me everything I needed to know. The lambs stopped bouncing and the ducks stopped quacking." Everyone stared at little Lyssen in awe. "Wow," said the sheep. "We guess all that listening of yours really is important." It sure is. Lyssen beamed. When you listen, you can learn things no one else notices. And today, it kept us all safe. From that day on, the animals all agreed. Lyssen, the cow, had the best superpower of all, and every time they saw her with those floppy ears swiveling around, they couldn't help but smile and wonder, what secrets of the world is Lyssen hearing today? And so, little Lyssen cow kept on listening, and life on the farm was as happy and as safe as could be.